Welcome to 1407 Grey Malkin Lane. This is the living memory of the X-Men. Get out of our house, okay? We don't want you here. We don't like your kind. All right, today we're doing an AKPC Roundtable with Sterling Silver.
How's it going?
Master Jarl.
As the only white guy, don't like your kind.
Oh yeah, you're cool. You're cool. You're cool. Duh. Like you get special exemption. You're like North Star's husband on human husband on Krakoa. You're cool. You cool.
Oh, I have the card.
Yeah, you have the card. Oh, the
Yeah,
mutant card.
Yeah, he has a mutant card.
You can say mutie once a year.
You just said it. And he was like,
But we had X-Force, Sabretooth, and X-Men Red come out this week.
Mhm.
Pretty divisive. Pretty like all good, just like different. Which ones do you guys want to go with?
let's save the best for last, which is obviously X-Men Red, and let's go with you can either speak about Sabretooth or X-Force. I'll just be listening. I might ask my follow-up questions every now and again, but I don't read, like as you all know, I don't read filler.
Yeah, you don't straight killer, no filler. Okay, let's go with X-Force. I love the monster. Like we're in like part 3 of Ben Percy's redemption tour for me. He has this monster movie thing arc with Cerebex killing and eating different mutants. We get Wolverine get all bent out of shape, literally. No, seriously, you get like he takes Polars and it's Cerebex twists his Wolverine like a pretzel. It's pretty nice.
There's a few things on that. First, does that mean Polaris has the power to bend adamantium?
It's metal, so yeah.
But adamantium is that's like Magneto level. Like I can believe Magneto could do it because he's Omega level.
Well,
You know?
She's right there. She's the number 2. So I'm pretty metal. She plays with it like silly putty, like Wanda did to Mr. Fantastic in Multiverse of Madness.
Spoilers, by the way.
Is it though? It's been a month.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, yeah, it's still a spoiler.
I didn't even hear it. So it's all good. 'Cause I'm still thinking. Kid Omega, he does it too. He bends Wolverine back into place. So he too, but he's Omega level, so I can believe that.
Hence the
He's
name.
telekinetic, so he used his telekinesis to bend them back, right?
Just like a piece of paper, straighten them out. But yeah, I love it. I love this. Also, they brought in Omega Red. Omega Red's part of the team now. I love it.
He just doesn't fit though. Like I don't know.
He does fit. He's more like.
I don't know. He's so awkward.
How's it awkward?
He just looks funny, I guess. I don't know.
He looks funny.
Wolverine looks funny.
I know Wolverine looks funny, but I've grown to accept Wolverine. It's gonna take a while for me to accept this dude, you know?
No, I just with Omega Red, he deserves a place on the team because he was manipulated by them to spy on the vampires, to spy on Russia. I mean, bring him in. I mean, how many they brought in? I mean, Black Widow was a Russian spy. You know, we saw how good that works. So they need a Russian spy.
Fair. And there's a cool synergy he has with Sage. I don't fully understand Sage's power. I guess just technomancy.
Okay. She can communicate with machines, but also she has the ability to jumpstart mutant abilities. Like if you're a human, she can jumpstart your X gene. Or if you're already a mutant, she can make you an Omega. Like
temporarily,
put your powers at their top form. She did that with Rogue.
Huh.
She did that with she did that with Gambit. She did that with Slipstream. like back in the Claremont era of Extreme X-Men. It's
Mhm.
like basically
Screaming Lifeguard. They're
right?
definitely 90s creations.
It was early 2000s. Yeah,
90s nonetheless.
her her powers is basically the device Magneto used in X-Men 1.
Okay.
Aren't Red Omega's tentacles though organic? Why was she able to like do
I thought,
shit?
it was, I thought it was techno organic.
Yeah, it's a uh
The-
I don't know. I mean, why is Wolverine's claws metal now?
Right, but it's just coated in metal doesn't make you machinery.
I mean,
I guess there's some. It does have some like color to it now. Like it's like glowing red now. So I guess maybe there is like red lights in them now.
see, now with Omega Red on the team, we can explain stuff like that.
Sorry, yeah, right.
So
Uh,
at the very end, I guess the major thing is that Kid Omega dies, or dies. He disappears. We don't see a body.
no, it's
Mhm.
more no, he's wiped out. Like,
No, wait, if your body exploded, there'd
yeah,
be gore, and if you blew up and turned to ash, there would be ashes.
yeah,
So
but like he's
there's no
wiped out.
trace.
But he's wiped out though. Like there's no backup of him. His body
Oh, correct.
disappeared.
You're right. You're right. There could
Like
be some time travel shenanigans. That is a popular theory right now.
I know. I like how that's synonymous with time travel shenanigans.
The thing is, so unless he never existed, like never was born, um, which I guess is a way that you can lose your backup. We were told that your backups are safe in the astral plane.
No, wasn't that the
Listen.
whole thing with Omega Red? They were trying to kill Xavier, like kill like a portion of Xavier. Oh, like sorry, no, a descendant of him, or sorry, an ancestor of him. And then if you do that, then he wouldn't even be born. But then they had some shenanigans, as a matter of fact, with the cerebral sword, and then like there also was like some kind of like a black hole or something, or singularity, to like keep those memories, or keep that like that copy in there, so it can be saved from time.
That's actually that's how the creature in X-Force. So in X-Force, we're fighting a monster that can like take on powers from from mutants.
Mhm.
And that is from Xavier going back in time and stuff, and Wolverine. That
Mhm.
Cerebro helmet somehow evolved into a
You know,
monster creature
you
that
know,
we're
it kind of
fighting
reminds.
now. So real quick, so it's possible it's possible the creature can go back in time or something, and has killed Kid Omega. But like, let's say time travel is not possible. It's not in play. This could be confirmation that your backups aren't safe. Wanda said no mutant will ever die again, or permanent death. This could be, them saying, actually, no, we didn't like that. We didn't like saying that. Actually, I don't know. Or my theory is Kid Omega deleted his own backups.
You know, I kind of wanted to see the Cocoons get eaten
Hmm.
because they just broke, because Phoebe, or at least Phoebe, what not actually all of them, because they all convinced Phoebe to break up with Kid Omega for a really vain reason. And I'm petty. If I would have saw a monster was on the island and I saw like, oh, it's going after my ex, I would have been like, no, let's wait a minute. Let's see what happens here. I am the king of petty.
Actually, I'm trying to think. I don't even think. I mean, I'm pretty. Let's see. If anyone would do it, it would have been the cuckoo that was going out with Cable, because like she was technically kind of more connected to him. Have any of the cuckoos actually died yet?
Not yet.
Not that we know of yet. So that's
No,
interesting.
not that we know of.
Well,
It's
one was dead and was brought back in House of X, but yeah.
Right.
oh,
I
two
mean,
were
like
dead, right?
like currently on Krakoa.
Oh
Yeah.
no, I don't remember. None that come to my memory.
Right.
But I don't like the
Um,
Cocoons though. Like,
I feel like Kid Omega needed to break up with her, like for his own growth, and it's not like Phoebe won't necessarily. There's some more reasons why she did it herself,
yeah,
than just giving in to her sisters. But for Kid Omega himself, like he needs to go through growth. and I think from that breakup, he had a lot of identity problems, and I think that's why he went and had his backups deleted, and I think he's trying to. I think after this battle, if he did die, it's still part of his plan, but I don't think he died. I think he's gone somewhere to undergo a rebirth himself, his own rebirth, and he's gonna come out of his own egg, changed in a way. I don't know, mentally. There's some possibilities. I don't know, maybe he goes to Otherworld and wants to die there. I don't know what his plan is, but I think he wants to undergo an evolution.
Right.
But like, the thing about it is I was telling Sterling this earlier. Kid Omega is the heart of Krakoa. He is powerful. He doesn't care what you think. And he wants you to know that he is the most powerful. And yeah, are you going to feel a little bad, a little insecure? Yeah, do better. And everybody was telling him like, oh, you need to tone it down a little bit. Oh, you need to adjust it. You need to be a bit more humble. Like, why? Why would you do? You want him to be humble for your benefit. That's gas.
That's a good point. That's a good point, actually. He does represent the ideas of Krakoa that we have up front.
Yeah, I mean, I like Kid Omega. Wolverine is just Wolverine's a hater. He doesn't like anybody who's proud of what they are because he doesn't like who he is. Like,
well, no, Kid Omega said perfect. Wolverine just treats all his ex-students like children.
Except for Kitty. He does. Remember in Marauders, he's like, "Hey, I need you to go get me some ribs. Give me some of that hair gel that I like." Don't tell nobody about that though. Yeah. Like, he makes it like if he doesn't treat you like a student, he treats you like a gopher.
Yeah. You're either a student or he wants to bang you. What?
Yeah. Wow, that's a hot take.
Wolverine take on like a boy mentee for once. We kind of had that with Kid Omega back in the Edition Aaron Room, but we just don't kind of have that anymore. I would like to see them break that dynamic and actually do like just pick somebody, and I do mean like a young guy, like to actually be like take under his wing for once. I want to see that kind of story with Wolverine.
Yeah, he's very gender specific. I mean, Kitty, Jubilee, Marrow, Armor. Oh yeah.
There's no commonality there. Not powers, not personality.
The commonality is that they're all girls. Is the
all teenage girls.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Laura, Gabby.
Laura's a special case because like that literally is just him.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
I'll let that one slide.
I wouldn't put him past
Gabby. Gabby is Laura. Was it?
Yeah.
Gabby counts. Gabby counts to me.
Yeah, no, Gabby counts. I'm just trying to think who would I pick for like to be like, okay, no, like you get to be under Wolverine's wing for a little bit.
Problem is we don't have many young mutants. We don't really have a school of young.
Man, you know what? If he was a little bit younger, I would have loved. Maybe they can go back and show. I would have loved for Wolverine to actually take Warpath under his wing because the whole thing was when Thunderbird was made. Like when he was killed, it was because he was a copy of, like they thought that he was too similar to Wolverine. I would love to see like Wolverine, like they take that kind of idea and like be like, no, I'm going to take you under my wing because one, I knew your brother, and two, like let me show you how you're not similar to me or how he wasn't similar to me.
All right, I like that. I really like that. But Cable did a better job because Cable didn't get him killed. But I still don't understand why Thunderbird doesn't like that aspect. Like, oh, you turned my brother into a soldier, bro. You couldn't. Oh, your brother knows how to follow orders. You couldn't just jump off a plane.
Yeah, at least they taught him.
Like for what? The guy was gonna. It was gonna explode anyway.
I can take this. He's like the barbarian D&D. No, I can take it.
Like, no, bro, we're like, you can, like, it's like, get out of the way.
He activated his rage, but he didn't know that his AC was down.
It'd be really funny if we find out that Count Nefarious was actually Mr. Sinister in disguise. That would be funny. I would.
There's the same count that Moon Knight was fighting, and then just runs. So it was just a sinister quote.
Oh man, I love X-Force. Ben Percy is he's gained my trust again. I can admit.
There was one thing actually I just remembered. I had one thought I wrote down. At one point, the robot creature monster thing, it possessed the body of
Black Tom.
Black Tom, and it says Black Tom is Krakoa. I am Black Tom. I am Krakoa. So I'm like, maybe this is kind of like feeding into like an origin story to Krakoa. Maybe Krakoa at one point, 7,000 years ago, when it was Okara, was a mutant like Black Tom and just progressed so large and big that it became an island.
That does make sense. I mean, like we saw in Powers X, Krakoa was a humanoid form, looked like Swamp Thing. So I can see that.
That'd be interesting. I thought maybe, well, see, I didn't read it, obviously. I like, just from that, I thought maybe they were saying like, because Black Tom was Krakoan, like that means that he is Krakoa.
Dang, that is very interesting. I didn't even think about that. Okay, X-Force, good. I love this whole Jaws alien thing they got going. I'm all for it. Sabretooth. I will once again say that Sabretooth is so stupid, it's unbelievable. His delusions of grandeur is insane. Like, seriously?
It's been multiplied by 4 ever since he's had that psychotic break.
Yeah, but he's so dumb. He's so stupid. He's so stupid.
Well, no, I wouldn't say that. His plan worked.
I mean,
well, 20 of his plans didn't work, and one of them did.
20 of his plans. Yeah, that was every
law of averages dictates one of them was going to work.
Right. I mean,
it did work though, and he's getting out. And as long as he doesn't immediately go kill someone,
even though he said specifically, "I'm going to kill people." Like, and I often remember, I haven't read this for the audience that's watching. I haven't read this. I did read issue 1, and then actually no, let's go all the way back. I remember when he said, when I get out of here, I'm going to kill you all. And then issue 1, he also said that to Cypher. So I'm like, I'm just saying.
Like,
so we don't. No, go ahead.
No. Like, yeah, Sabretooth never even thinks like, hey, maybe this killing is not appropriate. Maybe it's not like the best day right now.
We don't know what. So at the very end of the issue, I blew through it, so I'm kind of vaguely remembering it. But at the very end, Sabretooth sits down with Cypher again and Krakoa and has another meeting. And in this meeting, they make a deal to release him. Because apparently Krakoa and outcry for the treatment of Sabretooth. We don't know if they're all getting released, if everybody in the pit is getting released. I tend to think so based off the synapse for the next issue that says Sabretooth has caused a change for Krakoa forever. So I think something to do with the pit. Maybe they shut down the pit. It's a change.
Or readjust it. Like, I mean, with Sabretooth, I think you're right. Like, things are different now. The Gala changed everything. They can put him on Araco because they're all about his mindset. Like, no, seriously,
we don't know what the deal was he made. That deal he made, could it be that Sabretooth runs the Araco colony, penal colony on that Sabretooth runs the Krakoan penal colony on Araco.
I mean, for some reason, I can totally see Sabretooth like living his best life on Araco, running a bar.
I'd say that, I don't know, if I wanted to be cruel but still release him, I would just be like, what I would do is I would put him on Otherworld. So you're free, but if you die, that's it for you.
We ain't bringing you back.
Well, by removing your Krakoan citizenship and making you Arakan, you essentially have one lifespan anyways. Arakans theoretically don't get resurrected.
Arakans don't theoretically get resurrected. I don't know, because I guess specifically with, I get yes and no, because I guess technically speaking, I guess Sunspot doesn't see himself as an Arakan, but he was, I don't know, he fought for Araco, so I think that would count.
There's no Sunspot is Krakoan, so he'll always be resurrected. The only caveat is that there's no way to store. Sunspot says something in this issue or the last issue or whatever. He says something that implies that you can't store they can't save your memories on Araco. It's too far away from Cerebro.
Cerebro literally they made a little device by in Omega level, mind you, by Magneto. Magneto said that. I'm not saying Magneto is Omega level, but he is. I'm saying Magneto step forward is Omega level. But they made a little device. But they made that for those two, specifically Magneto and Storm.
Right.
What's stopping them from saying that? Yeah, what's stopping them from saying that all the other mutants that are on Rocket get that little device?
That could be the official solution for that, because that is a bit of a problem. So we've now gone into. Did we finish Sabretooth?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
Like Sabretooth needs to go. Let's say abolish the whole idea of the pit. No, actually, don't abolish it. Just put the people who really deserve to be there.
Put them in there until they learn their lesson on why they're in there. And
get Sabretooth and his 5 out. Get Toad out of there. Get Nanny and Orphan Maker out of there. Put Curse and Nature Girl in there. Put Moira in there. Put Sinister in there.
You can't put Moira in there. Moira's no longer a mutant.
Yeah, well,
There's just
get one of her clones. Get one of her clones.
Like a prison in the astral plane, or where did they send that Spore dude in X-Men? What is that game planet that the X-Men now rule?
Oh, right, Game World.
Oh, no, well, he's still on the Game World.
No. They sent him to.
They contained him.
The place where everyone has video cameras in, and everyone's streaming.
Mojoverse?
Mojoverse. They sent him to
Mojoverse.
Mojoverse. Yeah. I reread the issue the other day, and it has a small mention that they sent him to Mojoverse. So I guess Mojoverse is a bit of a prison for mutant kind.
So you're saying put them in the Truman Show?
Exactly. Make money off their suffering.
Then how are they even different from the prison complex of America?
They're not.
Okay.
That's the whole point.
All right, let's move it on.
Yes, finally, my time to shine. X-Men Red, number 4. No,
we get 3 different books, 3 different stories talk about life and death.
Yes.
I loved it. Top to bottom. It's also, I loved how Magneto got at Iska. I saw that you killed one of my students. Well, my back is turned. Do it again. I dare you to do it again. Ain't gonna happen the same way twice. Okay. I like that.
Right after that, there's an interesting thing. So I don't know whose word whose word do we take more? Do we take Iska's word about her powers from her 7,000 years ish, give or take, experience with her own powers,
right?
That Sunspot affected her powers and thereby cheated in that fight? Or do we take the Omega level eyeballs word? We don't know what his power is, but he's an Omega level eyeball.
It's Sauron.
Do we take his word when he says that no, he didn't affect the fight at all? It was a fair fight.
Well, they said what they're saying specifically is that it's a fair fight because Magneto used his own tools to beat Tarn. What Iska is saying is that the only reason he was able to win the fight, even though he used his own tools, was because her power was active. So that's the big caveat with this. Now, mind you, there technically speaking is a middle ground because there is technically speaking is a middle ground because Iska, like the way it was phrased is that Iska, like it's not like Sunspot said that Iska was like it's not like Sunspot said that Magneto wouldn't be able to kill Tarn, if I remember correctly, just that Magneto would be able to beat him. So it might be a factor of like let's see what Sunspot said made Tarn yield, but then Magneto used his own power to kill him.
Yeah, but like the thing about it is Iska wasn't part of the battle though. Like what basically Sunspot did was outsmart her. Like you can outsmart a mutant power. You just gotta be clever. And
right. Well, it's basically what Sunspot said. Like he won. Right. He won by losing.
No, but like I don't think it's that simple because the eyeball then further elaborates and says if a few words spoken to you could affect a sacred trial, we would have to then look at you more closely or whatever. Yeah. So I don't know. Like the eyeball seems to believe that Iska did not affect that battle in any way. Not just that the effect was so that the effects that Magneto still won using his weapons that he brought in with. Even I don't know. The eyeball seems to believe that that Iska did not affect the battle.
Iska got mad. Like, oh, listen, the way I look at it, Iska got mad because Sunspot beat her, and she just like she basically choked him out for beating her. She doesn't know how to take a loss.
I think it does matter if it's true or not because it's gonna affect whether or not. I think it's leading towards some. And I think someone's going to try to do the same thing again later, and it's just not going to work because that's not how that didn't happen there. I don't think Iska actually. I think Iska was afraid that she affected that fight and had like a panic attack. I don't think she actually did.
And which has a panic attack, she snapped someone's neck. Just anybody close. Just a neck.
That's a rocket panic attack, man.
A rocket panic attack.
A rocket panic attack. I want that. Al Ewing, if you're watching this, which I know you're not, make that canon. Make that the actual.
Yeah, a panic attack. Like I killed somebody. I had an Iraqi panic attack. What we do now. Also with I really like how Magneto really like just like I liked how he didn't lose his cool. Like Iska was trying to bait him and everybody was like, oh, we reject Krakoa's resurrection protocols because if life doesn't if you can come back from death, why does life even matter? I'm like, wow, you have the white sword, that guy with the white sword who brings back all his dead people up all the time, but you have an issue with Krakoa bringing dead people back to life.
Well, it seems like I think the white sword has left a bad taste in Arakan people's mind when it comes to resurrection. For one, he did it forcibly. He didn't give most people a choice. He gave Gorgon a choice because Gorgon impressed him enough that he gave him the choice. But initially he told
also,
Gorgon you don't have a choice. And initially he told Gorgon you don't have a choice. I am making you one of my puppets. I'm bringing you back no matter what. And second, the White Sword was never on the Great Ring. So I think the White Sword was one of the most powerful people in Arakko, and he just did whatever the fuck he wanted, whenever the fuck he wanted, and just did not, and it was not part of the ring, right? So like he just did whatever he wanted.
Just like Sister.
Yeah, just like Solemn, maybe.
You know, so it's like I don't know.
Oh, okay. What did you guys think about the Galactic Council with they all came.
I think it's oddly convenient. Once again, going back to kind of like my gripe with X-Men 3, X-Men Red number 3, and it's kind of bleeding over into that, but it's just kind of been my big issue with this character anyway. And I love this character to death. It's oddly convenient that one of the rightful heirs, or like one of the rightful claims to the Shi'ar is now dead, and that would be Vulcan. They didn't mention that because Vulcan, at that point, prior to him dying, he had never died. So technically speaking, he was supposed to be the
Next in line.
like the next in line. But now he's dead, so they don't have to talk about that. But it would have been at least nice for them to mention that, and they didn't.
It all could be part of something bigger, because things that we thought that Al Ewing forgot, they get brought back later. So
Right.
The Shi'ar as a species were mind wiped to forget Vulcan's existence.
Were they?
You know,
I thought they
Yeah.
I thought they just have subjective memory.
it was said at some point that the population was mind wiped. Now, whether or not Oracle or some of the super guardians
Now Deathbird,
in the know.
because he married Deathbird.
Yeah.
No, Deathbird remembered. A lot of
Okay.
people still remembered. It wasn't every single person. So that's why I think Oracle and some of the super guardians could still be in the know. Guardian or whatever, the dude with the
Gladiator.
Roman thing, a gladiator. He
no.
he knows.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, because that's because Vulcan beat his ass. Like,
Yeah, right. Wait, also, wasn't Deathbird pregnant?
yeah, that never was addressed. No, actually, no, it was. No, it was because they said in X-Men, no, in New Mutants, when I forgot what her actual name is, but I think her name is Guardian.
Oh,
Like-
Izzy Kane.
Yeah, Izzy. Like Izzy said that Warbird is a mother, and then Sunspot get that smooth line. Do you know what the hardest job is? Being a mother. Like, so I was
Being a single mother. Being
a single mother. So I was like, so they did address that. I guess she just lost a child, but yeah, it's true.
I mean,
Well, the child could come back in the future because there is the whole plot that.
Well, no, the child would, technically speaking, the child would be a mutant.
yeah. Actually,
Right.
technically, this would be her second child because, well, okay, all right, no proof that this actually happened, but
Mhm.
remember, Bishop really was into Bishop. I mean, Deathbird was really into Bishop,
Right.
and X-Men: The End, we found out that she had Bishop's kid. So,
Right.
As long as Deathbird's child has an X gene, it'll be in the waiting room.
That's correct. Well, maybe.
that it. Wow, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah. If they want to go that
The
far.
waiting room is a bit confusing because, like, does that include the Iraqans? Are there Iraqans in the
no.
waiting room?
I think that was what that meeting was about. Like, do they want to be?
No, Scarlet Witch created the waiting room and summoned the souls of every mutant that's ever lived, at least on Earth. I don't know if that includes every mutant across the cosmos.
Yeah.
I
I don't see why it would, but
Wouldn't the original Rock Slide be there too?
that's
other world.
Theoretically, like,
might be that he just that was it was already too late, but yeah, to me that would been a fix for that, but I think they're slowly but surely retconning away from Scarlet Witch's words, which said that no mutant will ever be lost again.
Right.
And so that would imply to me if not the Iraqans in Amith, at least the Iraqans on Earth when they were Okara, they should be stored there too. You know who else I thought about the other reading drinking
spit it out, Junior.
the Sabretooth, in the Sabretooth comic, one of the guys was talking about crucifixion, and then I was thinking that weren't they hinting at Jesus being a mutant the other day? Like,
Oh wow, yeah, they did. They did.
I thought you were gonna say, technically speaking, sorry, once again, this is very, for me, this is very Storm T'Challa heavy. I thought you were gonna say, well, technically speaking, what if they say like, well, Storm lost the child that she's supposed to have in giant size X-Men, and so that child is in the waiting room, like, and they just haven't gotten them yet.
that child is in the waiting room chilling with Jesus. Yep,
Killing
Right.
with Jesus.
confirmed.
Oh, you know what? Like, oh god. Can you imagine though how Wakanda would feel if they had a mutant descendant?
They wouldn't. I don't think it'd be. There is. Let me say this. There is no way after all the past ancestors. Now one of them was a mutant. There's just no way. Even if it was just super strength, there's
I
no
don't.
way.
I mean, like they say that your mutant gene is activated through extreme stress or like emotion, and I don't know. It seems like Wakanda kind of figured that like.
Well, they were being invaded. I guess the question is like what they consider stress because they were being invaded. No, they weren't being invaded. There were attempts to invade them, but they just kept suppressing it.
Right, and the only person who did it was the Black Panther.
Wait. So what?
Well, because remember back in the Hutland version, we saw T'Challa, BP's grandfather.
T'Challa, and that was Azari.
Azari, I'm sorry, Azari.
Azuri. Yeah.
He went. He took out those
Nazis.
Those Germans.
Yeah.
Those Dutch people who tried to take over Wakanda by himself.
No, I'm saying like specific. Well, I think in canon, the first time, like the first person that was able to like invade Wakanda, no, back to the first person that was able to invade Wakanda was a Claw, like in canon. Right. And then the next person was Doom. And I think after that, it was also, technically speaking, the person that invaded was Namor, but he had like the Phoenix Force on him.
Namor is still a bitch.
Right. And granted, if anyone who's watching this, I would love for them to like give it, like fact check me and give me the exact people. I would love that. I'm just saying like those people that I remember. I don't count like, I guess I should count M'Baku, but he was already Wakandan though, so I don't count that.
He's a domestic terrorist. A domestic.
Right. you can't invade something you're already in.
Right. I just don't understand. Okay, I guess my main gripe with Wakanda is that they have like they are not like they're not anti-Krakoa, but it seems like they're anytime Krakoa offers them something, they're like, no, we don't need you.
Well, there's a reason for if they are anti-Krakoa, there's a big reason, and we talked about this because of what Storm did. There's no reason why they wouldn't be anti-Krakoa, but the big thing here is that one thing I appreciated, but I didn't appreciate is that like they're at least, it seems that what Storm's position and T'Challa's position as like the regent, and like he still technically is the king of he's the emperor actually. He's the emperor of the Galactic Empire, excuse me, the Galactic Empire of Wakanda. But they seem to at least be on the same playing field. I don't actually like that. I think they need to actually at least show which one is ranking higher. Right. But for right now, they're at least in the same talking space. Now, I will say once again, the thing that is so aggravating about this is that here they're like fire and ice, but in like the T'Challa comics, in the Black Panther comic, they are like there's someone getting back together. And even more frustrating is that they actually finally did something that I've been asking for, and they actually gave us editorial notes for the references. However, they referenced Black Panther #3, and now we're on Black Panther #6. And so this once again messes with like the timeline because in Black Panther #6, Storm comes down and speaks to T'Challa, but the way she speaks to him makes it seem like she just found out about Gento and she's talking to him. But now in this comic, it seems like she's also once again talking to him. She just found out about Gento and it's confronting him. So like, oh my God. Like,
serious, just that editorial delay really hurt everybody.
Right, and he's even weirder. It's like, I don't know, like, because it seems T'Challa's still technically king at this point. Right now, he kind of like in Black Panther #6, he kind of is. He's actually on the run. So it would have to mean that like this happens first, then Storm goes and confronts T'Challa in person. And I'm like, but the way she acts is like it's the first time they've spoken in a while. I'm like, just like it just doesn't fit.
Yeah.
On your point of them being equal, they're not equal.
How so?
So it depends what you mean by equal.
Like,
yes,
I'm talking about. Oh, sorry.
On the Galactic Council, yes, they're equal on the Galactic Council, but that's not. The Galactic Council isn't about how much personal power you have.
I think it kind of is. I disagree with that. I think it is.
You got Space Cop dude who has who's a
Yeah,
vote.
so you
Nova.
had yeah, so you started talking about Nova, Richard Rider, Guardians of the Galaxy, but they technically are the police force. It's very interesting that it's very interesting that of all the Guardians of the Galaxy members, they got the Space Cop. That's very telling.
Well,
how so?
his is an honorary position for his sacrifice.
Oh, for Annihilation, yeah. But like,
Yes.
how's that telling?
But that's telling specifically because because in many stories they say like if all the Novas go away, then like that one Nova has the power of all the Novas together. Like they become like Nova Prime.
And that might be part of that, but they said that we have not forgotten. Like that was pointed out in this movie. Like we have not forgotten. So like the sacrifice of all the Novas, we have not forgotten that, and so we're giving you an honorary vote
Now,
on
to
the
be
council.
fair,
Yeah,
they're not all dead. There's one more. There's Sam. There's Sam Alexander. He's still there. He's still out there too. So there's not actually just one Nova. So if and when they ever, go ahead.
Still shows you there's a guy on the council that's voting who doesn't necessarily have an empire spanning power like base.
He doesn't have. Let me say. I think he has an empire because of the fact that, technically speaking, he has like the power of most of the Novas, if not all of them. Like I can't say all of them because like Sam Alexander is out there somewhere, but Nova Prime, that's what it's like supposed to be. Like they're supposed to have all of the power of Novas across the galaxy, basically.
No, but he can go to any planet he wants for jurisdiction and investigate, but he's not the leader or representative of a galaxy spanning.
He is the representation
empire.
of Nova, so I disagree with you on that. I'm going to go back to that.
They don't exist no more. They don't exist.
I forgot specifically what it's like. It's what Hala, I think. I think that's where Novas are from.
They don't exist. The Novas are all dead.
They don't exist, but once again, that's going back to my thing about Nova Prime. If they don't exist, then he is Nova Prime.
No,
so he has that power.
But it's still an honorary title for past power.
It doesn't matter his honorary. He still has like empirically speaking, he has that power. And I mean the actual force of Nova. He has that.
Right. Okay. I get that. I understand.
The actual Nova force. He has that in him.
You have a point. They need to like establish that. Like it's weird. It is weird.
So the point remains that you don't have to have a galactic spanning empire to hold a galactic council seat and vote. So Storm does not need to have an empire to have a seat on.
I'm saying they're put on equal, like they're at least for this particular meeting, they're put on equal playing field. As you know me, as I was intending to say, T'Challa should, technically speaking, T'Challa's empire encapsulates Storm, so he actually should be higher up on the list than she is. Technically speaking, she should serve him based on the understanding. Because he's intergalactic and she's just not just. I don't want to it's kind of on them though. Like they established the solar system, so I'm like, okay, well, that's not intergalactic.
Yeah,
but it is galactic though.
The mutants rule the largest superpower of the solar system.
What's that again?
The mutants rule the largest superpower of the solar system.
The largest superpower of the solar. What's that? Are you talking about Arakko or are you talking about Earth?
Both. Krakoa, Arakko and Krakoa are synonymous with each other.
Not necessarily. They're not synonymous.
But like,
right.
What all right, say like Krakoa is like Great Britain and Arakko is America.
Okay. But America,
they both were ruled by the same president.
America has more power. No, hang on. Which one is America? Which one?
Arakko would be Arakko.
No, it's like Russia and America together, and they both have the same president. I think easily Arakko and Krakoa combined are more powerful than Wakanda on Earth. The intergalactic Wakanda, sure, they're not as powerful.
But I wasn't talking about Wakanda on Earth. I'm talking about Wakanda and intergalactic.
No, but you said that.
I said the Empire.
You said that Storm is part of Storm's Empire is part of Black Panther's
I
Empire.
can't call her. She's not an empress. Like she's not an empress. She actually has
Whatever. I'm
been
talking
rejected.
territory. I couldn't think of a.
Right. No, that's important though, because
Territory.
emperor means that you are like the king of kings. So
I,
there's a very specific
just,
reason.
I couldn't think of a word to describe the territory that she controls. Okay, so I use empire.
How many
Right.
planets? How many
People
planets?
talk about America being an empire today. You don't necessarily have
Right.
to have an empress or
No, but
emperor
that's
to be an
true.
empire.
But okay, but like that's colloquially speaking.
so
That doesn't
I just-
actually mean like
Yeah, I
like
couldn't think of a better term, so I use colloquial. So yeah, so
yeah, but I know,
yeah,
but words have
empire.
meaning. Like I mean, if you want, you can actually call it a queendom. But once again, by definition, a queendom is less than an empire.
How many planets does Wakanda have? Their
I
intergalactic,
forgot. It's been a while since I read it. I have to check it. Let me see.
like 4, right?
No, it's more than that.
Right. So okay, so we're going on tangents. You said that
Yeah.
Earth is part of intergalactic Wakanda. It is not. The largest
No,
superpower of
I'm
the
saying
solar
specific.
system.
No, I'm saying
is-
specifically. No, I'm saying specifically the Wakanda part. I'm saying let's say this specifically. Technically speaking, the answer is true. That is correct. Earth is a part of the Galactic Empire of Wakanda, but it'd be just Wakanda. But that doesn't matter because specifically it's an empire. It's intergalactic. Intergalactic means like in between two galaxies. So by saying that, but then again, the question is how big is a galaxy? Because in between just means that in between. I'm going to answer the Armor's point in a second. There's at least Jesus Christ.
But also, like, if you didn't know Wakanda was, wouldn't Wakanda the country be like a representation of the intergalactic? Like, who knows?
That would be like it'd be like Wakanda, like they call it Wakanda Prime, basically. Like that's like the jewel, that's basically like the crown jewel. But like I'm looking specifically at like the actual planets. There's at least 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, at least 23 planets.
Okay, that's all right. That's an empire.
Right.
But no, they probably own thousands of planets. They're an intergalactic. To be intergalactic means you have holdings in multiple galaxies, at least 2,
Yeah.
probably 3 or 4.
And
yeah, like minimum 2, could be more because it just is in between.
Also, like I would say that Krakoa doesn't really have the entire solar system because we got to remember, Orcus has that planet, has a Neptune or Jupiter building sentinels.
Yeah.
It's the Sentinel City.
Or was that the sun? I forgot.
Yeah.
No, wait. Yeah.
They own the sun. They own the sun.
Was
I
the sun?
still-
Isn't
Pardon?
the sun where they were? Isn't the? It makes sense why they own the sun. Isn't the sun where they were building like when they had like the master mold at?
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
but
Master Mold,
that
Central
got thrown
City,
out. But didn't that get thrown into the sun?
They tried it.
They tried to because they kept like X-Force kept invading it, but they kept getting beat. If I remember correct, I think that's the same place.
I still believe the largest superpower of the solar system is mutantdom.
My question is define superpower at that point. You just mean like in terms of like actual force?
The largest force in the solar system, yeah. Economic, development, military wise, all of it, all of the above.
I just think at that point, unfortunately, I think at that point it might not like there is quality and quantity, but I think like at that like Wakanda has so much quantity. I think that's gonna encapsulate the quality because they even have and even in the Black Panther run under Coates at the very end, like they had old gods. Like I don't think they're actually gods, but they have like they're considered that for like Wakandan standards. They had like actually old, huh?
They have an eyeball that can blink away gods.
Yeah,
and they got like 23 other Omega levels. You got like 13 Iraqi Omegas, and then you got like 9.
Oh, you know what? Thank you. You know what? That transitions into that. Now we have to redefine what Omega means because Magneto candidly said that Forge is an Omega.
Well, I mean,
He said that.
He did say that. Yeah, you're absolutely right. He did say that, but like as we all remember in House of X, they said like the reason why Forge is not Omega is because there are people who can do his power better than him, like Tony Stark.
Mm-hmm.
Is Tony Stark dead?
I don't think so.
No, he's just married.
He
Yes,
didn't
as a
die
matter of fact, it
temporarily in the
said that
comic,
he is,
maybe?
yes. Magneto said it was, let's see, Forge built it our Omega Technopath. And like Magneto does many things. He is very gravitas. He is
Yeah.
very like up there, but I don't think
Doesn't
he
exaggerate.
slurs with that. He at least Magneto considers Forge Omega level, and that's saying a lot.
Yeah, I get. Yeah, okay, I get it. But also, I'll just this is my one thing. Why don't Krakoa get Manifold or Ileana and just destroy that Orcus base? It's so simple.
I think Ileana might be more for it, but Manifold is wholeheartedly like, I don't want to kill people, like kill humans. Like they made that clear in like what number 3, I believe. No, number 2.
Well, I mean, or what about
X-Men Red
Blink
number 2, I
or
think, doesn't
Lila
quit.
Cheney, or I don't know, or
It would take
how about
an
this? How about this? How about
Omega,
this? They get Manifold, make a portal. They throw like
not
a
possible.
bomb onto that, and just blow
No,
it
it
up.
was no, it is possible. I guess the question is, do you
It's-
think that the sword, like, is the sword base bigger than the Master Mold? I think the sword base is bigger, and
What I
Manifold was able
think
to
is
move it.
that Manifold is not Omega level, and so the moment he approaches Orcus, his powers are gonna be drained and siphoned and
Right, but he doesn't.
dampened.
Well, here's the thing,
and-
though. He might not have to move Orcus. He could just move the sun.
To move the sun, he would have to get in vicinity of the sun, and we'd get within vicinity of the sun, his powers would be dampened
How would it be
And-
dampened?
because he got within vicinity of the sun, and the sun is owned by Orcus. They have
No, but
just
how does it- no, how's the power dampened?
They don't own the sun. It's more like they use it. They're
they have a
closest to
sentinel
it.
city on the sun.
They don't have a
But
city.
what
on
I'm
the
saying,
sun.
how it is.
We have
No,
a city on the sun.
hang on. Let's do this. Let's do this eventually. First of all, we have legitimately seen Manifold move Sword, the base. It took a lot out of him, but he was still able to do it, and that was on short notice as well. So my question is the Sword base bigger than the Orcus base? I don't think it is. I think the Sword base. I think the Sword base is bigger than the
The Master Mold,
Yeah.
The Orcus space.
Yeah,
maybe
Orcus
bigger
base.
than Master Mold, but not bigger than Sentinel City. Sentinel
But
City is
Sentinel
massive.
City's on Jupiter, though.
No, that was on the sun. I'm pretty sure.
No, you can't have anything on the sun because it would be
Well,
destroyed.
not. You can't have everything on Jupiter either. But no, not on the sun's sun. But
I gotta find this.
but in orbit, you can't have something on Jupiter either. Jupiter would crush you too. Like
Or
Jupiter
like
doesn't have
Neptune or
land.
Jupiter. I gotta find that out.
Jupiter
'Cause-
doesn't have land either. So it's like either way you get.
but they're robots.
Yeah, but so be on the sun too. Then no, Sentinel City is not on the sun, but it's in orbit of the sun, closer to the sun than Master Mold was, and Master Mold was very close.
Okay,
Looked like
I'm looking up
I thought it
X-Men
looked
House
like
of X.
Maximo was like dipping into the sun.
I'm looking it up now.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Is that-
Like I said, I might be wrong. Here we go.
I mean, couldn't they get like a? I don't know. Like, there's so much they could do. Like, they can destroy that so easily.
And the only people that have been able to operate their powers in vicinity of Nimrod and Nimrod's power dampening technology is Omega levels. Xavier lost all his powers. He's not
Right, in
Omega
front of
level.
them. But it wouldn't. My thing is, you wouldn't have to find Nimrod directly. If you can literally just take the Orcus Forge and just dip it into the sun, like completely, it's gone. It's not like it doesn't have enough power to like directly take on the sun.
Also, you gotta remember,
You
Storm.
have to fight Nimrod. You just have to literally just make sure Nimrod is on the place when you dip it into the sun.
Also, we gotta remember, Storm called Xavier the most powerful telepath in the
Right,
galaxy.
which means that either that he is, because he is not on the mega level list, which means that that pretty much just means that he is beyond the mega level. That's the only way to take that.
Or maybe
That-
she was just slightly exaggerating for the company that she kept.
The wording is important. She didn't say he was Omega level. She said perhaps he is more Omega.
Yes, no, she said specifically, perhaps the universe's most powerful telepath, which means that every telepath that is on that list specifically is weaker, but by her logic, is weaker than him. So
Or
that means that he is beyond Omega level because they are Omega level, which means that he is beyond Omega level.
Wait, okay.
So you're saying specific. So you're saying specifically
Mercury.
that you don't. Yeah. So you're saying specifically that we should. Why are you muted?
Oh,
no, I'm just saying. I'm
All right.
just
So you're
noting
saying
it.
specifically that Storm might not have an accurate take.
also,
Perhaps. Yeah,
but
perhaps.
Storm wouldn't just be saying that out of nowhere.
also,
It's-
the Sentinels are on Mercury. They
Mercury.
own
Yeah, Mercury's
Mercury.
close
They don't
to-
own
Mercury's
Neptune or
close to, like,
Jupiter, but
7
like they
Mars.
own Mercury. They have the Sentinel cities on Mercury, so they can claim they have one planet, but they don't own the sun. It's just they're really close to the sun. They're really close.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. Mercury is the first planet to the sun, so they own the sun and they own Mercury.
They don't own how they own. They can't set foot on it.
I guess it's just.
When
I guess
you're
it's just
the
using flag
only-
logic. Like if you put your flag on the base, then it's yours. Because
Right.
no one else is there.
You're the only superstation in orbit of the sun. You own the sun.
Technically, it's Reed Richards. He owns it because he built that base.
It was him and
Tony
Tony.
Stark.
Him and Tony Stark, the Rock, the Richard Stark alliance. Technically, they could, also. Why hasn't Reed been like, hey, whatever happened to that space station of mine?
Well, the last time he remembered it, like it got broken because Tony broke it.
It's awfully telling because you know they know. You know Tony Stark and Reed Richards knows, so it's awfully telling
They're
that they
part of
haven't done anything about
Orcus.
that.
Maybe.
So a couple things. I feel like we're kind of like moving away, but it's two gripes I had with the comic. First, both revolve around Magneto and the whole plot of involving. So first, Magneto has had a long running. For 2 years now, he's been nothing but pro immortality.
Right.
So he's been pro mutant immortality. Like he still wants humanity. I mean, mutant kind, to be okay, and he doesn't see them as okay right now.
No, that's not what he said at all. He specifically said that we're going to outlive you, and that's how we're going to beat you. He said that specifically.
Right.
Called himself a god that will never die. He said that we will outlive you. He was super pro immortality for himself and everyone around him. And now all of a sudden, because of Moira, but I would be okay if it was because of Moira. But he kind of insinuates that he's always been afraid that he would become a Nazi or something. I don't know. Like it doesn't seem like
right.
No, but like people only call him a Nazi because he's pro his people. He's not. He doesn't want to kill anybody else. He's not a Nazi. I mean, would you consider Mr. Sinister a Nazi? After
I would. It depends. Did Mr. Sinister literally take humans and put them in a crematorium because Magneto did, and that is canon. So if that's the case,
he didn't say he wanted all humans to be in a crematorium. He just put some bad ones.
Sinister is trying to create a master race.
I mean, hey! Remember, this is the same humanity that built Neverland.
I think another question is like with Sinister. If we're talking about Dr. Stasis, then yes, I would think that he's a Nazi. If we're talking but if we were talking like Sinister and Mortal X-Men, then no, I don't think he is. There are too many Sinisters to use.
One Sinister, two Sinisters. That's too many. No.
So my second gripe was the fact that Magneto would be okay with Omega levels dying for good. Magneto has said multiple times that the Krakoan's greatest natural resource, it's his Omega levels. And he's so quick to have two of them be thrown away forever.
He was fine with Jean dying, and she's Omega level. Jean's died like the most.
Actually, Kid Omega's died the most.
That is true, Kid Omega too. But wait, let me be fair.
I'm talking permadeath. Delete me from.
Oh no, I'm saying specifically Jean. No, back before we have anything, like it was understood, technically speaking, that when Jean died, she's supposed to be dead. Now she kept coming back, obviously, but every time they showed her dead, like that was supposed to be like, oh, that's it. Like she's not coming back.
I don't like that whole idea. Like, oh, Jean's come back multiple times. Like, she came back twice, technically once. That like she was placed in a pod. I don't care what Grant Morrison said. The Phoenix and Jean are two different entities. We
Right.
know this.
No, but I do get your point, MJ. Yeah, it is a pretty quick heel turn. I think there should have been like a quick like excerpt on like why even if you're like this one just like a freaking white page. But
That to me that's the more egregious one, because at least for the longevity and immortality, you could say is always been part of his character that he's afraid to become a Nazi, and then Moira pushed him even further to fear that he would become that. So at least that one has something to go off of. But like I said, for 2 years now, he's been nothing but 3 years, going on 3 years now. He's been nothing but Omega levels are our greatest natural resource, and he's literally willing to delete 2 of them from the record forever.
Well, to be fair though, once again, to be fair though, I get what you're saying, but that is still consistent with what Arakko wants. Like, or like technically speaking, I like, isn't it kind of established at least the eyeball, like their Omega level, and technically speaking, there is a way that, like, technically speaking, they're on the council, they could die. Someone could challenge eyeball person to a fight, and they could die and not come back. So I get what you're saying about that happening, but in particular with the role he's taking, it is consistent. But we did need like a nice transition on why he's saying that specifically for Omega levels.
I want Magneto to be the voice for Arakans becoming Krakoans. I think he should be the one there trying to convince these Omega level mutants on Arakko that they should join Krakoa and live forever and have their Omega level powers benefit mutant kind forever.
I can see that. Unfortunately, the fact that he's friends with Kingfisher, I don't think that's going to happen. If anything, he might start saying that like humans need to start coming to.
Exactly. No, yeah, it's completely opposite.
You know what? I would keep the humans out because hey, you know what? I'm old school.
Except for Kyle. Kyle's cool.
Yeah. Kyle's cool.
Except for Kyle. Kyle's cool. He can go.
No, like all humans, not you, Kyle. You good. Yeah. Those refugees they have on the island.
Even Shogo might be a mutant.
No, he has to be.
He's a changeling.
He has powers. I know.
He's a changeling. He's right up there with Jamie Madrox.
Yeah.
No, but what I was gonna say is that like they destroyed the backup system for Magneto and Storm on Arakko, but that doesn't mean they can't bring Magneto back. I mean, like they still got it. They still got him on the main one on Earth, don't they?
I think
the way that they deleted them. He says that this is the last, our last backups. Once this is destroyed, wherever we can die, wherever. It's insinuated that the implication is that Storm and Magneto, if they die now, they stay dead. That's the implication we get.
Right, but like that doesn't.
I don't believe Polaris or Scarlet Witch would let Magneto stay dead. I don't believe that for a second. So maybe there's another backup.
Quicksilver, maybe he'd be like, you would think about it for like 20 minutes.
Yeah. So Magneto said specifically, that was my backup and Storm's. The only copies and no more will be reported. We will no longer have the Conan insurance. So, yep, that is it.
Unless, because you got to remember, Xavier downloads everybody weekly. So that's who's to say they don't have like a backup, a secret backup for Magneto.
Well, Sinister is going to have his DNA still, and you can just back up at any moment.
Right.
Many times you can get a new backup.
Yeah, but they don't know that. I think at that point it's just like intent. Like the intent is that these are the last copies, and that's what we want.
It's a show of good faith.
And I find it a little odd. I don't think the Quiet Council has the authority anymore to delete backups. I think after trying to delete Destiny, I think either the 5 or Legion has. I don't think it's true. I think Legion himself, like, it's kind of weird that it's like Legion just let Magneto walk into the astral plane, go to the cradle in the astral plane, delete his backup from there. That's Legion's whole place, man. You don't walk into his place and delete shit from his computer.
We do if you ask for it.
Right. No, also,
particularly if it's for the greater good of Krakoa.
Also, like, I'm just saying, if they would have deleted Destiny, Mutant kind would have been okay regardless. I mean,
we can go back to that. Like, because that goes back to my issue in X-Men or X-Men 3. Like they didn't actually address the point that like, hey, Hope, I actually never gave you Cerebro. You shouldn't have been using it. And why should you have it now? Like,
I mean,
they just glossed over that issue completely.
well, no, they addressed it. They addressed it. Like she's like, "Oh, why did you give me this?" Like I did not give.
He's
you
like, I did it.
Like, you would think Xavier would be like, give it back now.
Yeah, give it back.
I mean, I'm sure he could turn it off. Like, you know what?
It's like
You're
when she off swing,
disconnected.
you just flip it off.
I'm
Also,
just saying-
another question. So they resurrected what's her face, right?
No.
They resurrected the Queen of the Shi'ar or whatever.
Zandra.
Zandra.
They
They
implied that
haven't done it
Xavier.
yet. Oh no, I know they
So
said
it's already done. It's already
Yeah.
done.
But it's a little weird because
Wow.
Xavier. So Hope implies that Xavier is tired, and that's why he's not here to greet Sunspot.
That's why he would. That's why he was tired.
If he's tired, then why isn't the 5 tired?
No,
Yeah.
because they weren't in. They weren't in on
Yeah.
it. Because like,
He just caught the memory.
yeah, because like we gotta remember. So
Oh,
this
yeah,
kind of
that's it.
this
Yeah.
kind of says that Marauders 3 happened at the same time, right before X-Men Red 4 happened.
Right.
He caught it. Like she sent out a psychic scream. He caught it, and he's like,
You're
"Okay,
right. You're right.
bring her back right now."
I
Sinister,
wasn't thinking
bring her
that in my
back.
mind. I
Which
Which is
forgot.
kind of cool. It would be nice if like this is kind of like an Oda fashion because he always likes to do his circular storytelling. It'd be kind of cool if like like if they kind of mentioned like that like that much just be a thing with like with the damn it, hang on, I got it. With the Xavier clan, like as soon as you're killed, then you come back because it happened to Xavier, now it happened to Zandra.
Right. And also
like-
like and everybody likes to say that, oh, Xavier's a horrible father. He is a good father when he is on what like
when he wants to be.
no. Give him the chance. Give him the chance to be a good father. He's a great father.
He's had multiple chances.
No, Legion does not count.
I'm talking about Danger.
That's not his kid. Like technically, you could blame the Shi'ar. You could blame Cable. You could blame a bunch of people for Danger. You could blame. You can even blame Moira for Danger.
I think it's possible that he resurrected her in a different method.
Probably.
Because Hope does not. I don't know. It didn't seem like Hope necessarily knew the full scope of what happened. She says he was tired.
Yeah, because he was resting because
Maybe
like,
she's
he
keeping the
caught her.
secret. I don't know. It didn't feel like to me that Hope was involved in the process. Potentially
No.
Xavier did it without Hope and did it with the other 4, but then I don't see the 5 doing it without Hope.
Like
So,
the
like,
5
I
are
think it's
redundant
possible-
though.
I think it's possible Xavier did it in a roundabout way where he just went to Sinister.
Yeah, he did go to Sinister. He got
I think
Sinister.
so what I'm getting at is that it's possible that she was not resurrected in an egg and that she was just cloned.
Yeah, probably.
Sinister did an old-fashioned clone.
Also with Xavier being a
Oh,
bad
no, wait.
father, he
No,
didn't know about
wait.
either of his.
Yeah, because actually isn't that human form or like that flesh form that's actually not Xander's true form. It's actually like a light form.
Maybe.
If I remember correctly, like that's like exactly what I think that's exactly what happened. So maybe he didn't even bring her back. Be it like you might be right, but it might be because like her actual form is not actually flesh. It's actually like psionic kind of power.
Yeah. They just captured her soul and they created a body for it to go into.
Right. Kind of like what happened with Rock Slide. Yeah, it turns out you're actually not rock. You're just like that's just like a bunch of like crust.
Oh wow. The Earth's crust. That's his new name, Earth's crust. The cheesy bread. No, but like anytime. Oh wait, my thing with Xavier is like both of his kids. He was not involved in their raising at all. The Shi'ar made Zandra without his knowledge. They didn't even tell him until like, oh yeah, we have your daughter. And Legion, I've said it before. That was his mom. His mom kept her away because she is a bitter baby mama.
None of that really matters.
God, it does.
Even if I give you all of that, though, like, even if I give you all of that, that doesn't matter about the childhood. Post House of X, he has not been a good father.
Cyclops.
Yeah, don't compare people. So, you know how I win your argument, Elroy? Is I say Yeah, Cyclops is a shit father, therefore they're both shit fathers. I just won your argument.
Oh,
Won the
no,
argument.
Cyclops is not a shit
No, I
father.
think, hang on. So first, I think he was saying, were you saying that Xavier was being a father to Cyclops? Or you were just saying that, are we bringing up Cyclops as like father, like being a father? I was curious about that.
No, he raised Cyclops.
Yeah, I think that's what he meant. Because like, I just wanted that clarification. No, I mean, like, they both can count. Like, I just want to make sure.
No, and Cyclops can't be considered a shit father because that wasn't his fault. Like with Cable, he did the best thing for him. And if you think about it, the different points in Cyclops' life, he raised Cable. He raised
That's
Cable
true.
for
Like,
12
I would say
years.
every opportunity, like almost every opportunity he had, like to like when Cable was in his life, he actively wanted to raise him.
Madeline
Right,
didn't.
you cannot deny that the theme of Xavier has been that he's been too busy to be a father post House of X.
Yeah, I can agree
The
with that.
moment Moira showed him the futures, he had like a mental break. He had a personality shift. He stopped caring about humanity, and he stopped caring. Not I would say maybe not. Sorry, maybe he doesn't stop caring about his
No,
family,
that.
but he was too busy focusing on mutant kind as a
I'll
whole than his
say
family.
that. I will bring up the fact that I forgot where it was exactly. It might have been Powers of X. Like legitimately, particularly when Cyclops died, there were tears being shed.
When all those X-Men died.
Yeah, but Cyclops, he's like he was speaking to Cyclops, he got killed, and like I saw like because he had the Cerebro on him, and he was crying.
I'm not saying he's a bad guy. I'm just saying that he's too busy to be a father.
Well, no, I took
I think that alone is we can all agree on that.
No, I took that to mean, I think specifically the like what I would take from it, and this is under Hickman, I believe. Like he was crying not just because he lost subordinate, like he was crying because he lost a son. In that instance.
Yeah, he sent his son to die. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was for the greater good. I mean, they did do something really, really
important. Yeah, once again, that was the first Suicide Squad.
It was greater good that turned out to be a mistake. They caused Nimrod to be created like 50 years earlier.
That wasn't them though. That was Omega Sentinel.
No, the actions that they took in the beginning of House of X caused different things, which caused Nimrod. They caused Nimrod to be created, earlier.
No, that's not true though. No, that's because Moira in the what we believe to be the 11th life, they actually won, and then Omega Sentinel went back to make sure that Omega Sentinel went back to make sure that Nimrod did become sentient earlier.
Right. So like what they did, they saw the playbook. They went like, okay, if we get them here, we can wipe out the mutants earlier.
Right. Which anyway, I don't know if it's exactly the 11th life, but specifically they said like it makes sense. Sentinel said like they don't know the secret. They don't know that the mutants win.
But Omega Sentinel does.
Right, but still,
yes,
that was the second they so either they're fully retconning that Omega Sentinel was the cause, which is they have retcon that. But I still think that part of the retcon is keeping the original explanation was that mutant kind caused Nimrod to be created earlier. So yes, Omega Sentinel caused the events for Nimrod to be created earlier, but through using the mutants to attack Orchis, that caused Orchis to be motivated to do shit quicker. But so she still used mutant kind as her mechanism to cause Orchis to do shit sooner.
So you're saying because the mutants built their own country, that caused Nimrod to come back sooner?
Well, yeah, they built a country.
Them attacking first. Mutant kind attacked first.
I mean, they won.
No, well, yeah, they did win. But like, no, remember, Orchis was started because Krakoa got started. Because like they even say like, oh, because when the mutants got too big, they're like, okay, that's when Orchis got activated.
Yeah, but the moment they were trying to create like the mother mold or whatever. They're trying to create the mother mold. No, they have this. They have the thing that can create the mother mold. They were trying to create the mother mold. So Xavier's the mother mold can spit out Sentinels. No, the mother mold can create something that can then create master molds that then can spit out Sentinels like crazy. So Xavier sent in his team on a suicide mission to stop that. That's the first strike. The first strike in this war was done by mutant kind.
No, that's not true at all. No, that's not true at all. No, the first strike was making the mother. What are you talking about?
No, and plus, technically,
No,
I would blame
hang on,
Mystique.
we gotta go back to that. How is that the first strike when they're literally trying to stop something that will eventually kill them?
So
Like,
you're basically just justify the invasion of Iran. You justify the invasion of India if they start
Yeah.
Okay, making
let me
nukes.
say this specifically.
Justify.
Let me say this exactly specifically. If legitimately, let's make some like Kazoo Land literally makes like this weapon we are using right now, we are building is specifically made to nuke America. Yes, absolutely, that's the first strike.
Not specifically.
No. Sentinels specifically target mutants.
yeah, that
They are particularly good at targeting mutants, but tell Spider-Man, tell
No. That is their main purpose.
Tell them that only mutants get targeted.
No, that's the issue. No, in this future past, no, that's the issue. Specifically, Sentinels were made to target mutants, but then they got so good at it is that they targeted the X gene. No, hang on.
No, I get you.
They targeted the X gene, and then they realized, wait, hang on. Well, humans will eventually get the X genes. So we just need to get them all.
Yeah, but that's not why Scarlet Witch and Spider-Man have been targeted by Sentinels for 50 years in comic history.
That's because it was retcon. Like now for Spider-Man, I don't have an explanation, but for Scarlet Witch specifically, they said that her DNA was so alike. No, that is what happened. Like that's what
you're right.
That's what the High Evolutionary said.
According to the new
that is
canon,
like the retcon.
According to the new canon, she's never been a mutant. And she's always been targeted by Sentinels. And Spider-Man has been targeted by Sentinels. So the idea is that Sentinels don't scan you necessarily for an X gene. They scan you for powers.
No, that's not true. Specifically, the High Evolutionary said is that your DNA is so close to mutants like that it'll be seen as that. So like she is not a mutant, that is true. But the way he made her DNA is like it's so similar that like it will be seen as that. And that's for both Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver.
I hear you, but like Deadpool, Spider-Man, you can say that maybe Deadpool is also
mutate.
Maybe his mutate similar
mutate too,
though.
Actually,
right. If I remember correctly, Deadpool's a mutate, and like depending on how you do it, they either put an X gene into him, or like they basically pumped his body to where eventually somewhere along his bloodline, his X gene would activate.
I hear you, but at the end of the day, we have 3 or 4 people that were not mutants that were targeted by Sentinels.
Yeah, because eventually, but if you remember in Days of Future Past, they said after they got all the mutants, they started going after the mutates, the superhumans, like anybody.
Which once again, that still is consistent because they could just be saying that eventually that bloodline is going to lead to an X gene. So Spider-Man might not have it. As a matter of fact, I believe May J. Parker is a mutant. So eventually, his first child in canon, she is a mutant. I believe she is classified as a mutant.
I don't see any difference between a Doombot and a Sentinel. So if we're gonna attack people for creating giant robots, why the fuck did we not attack
Doombot? Specifically is made a Doombot is made so he can take over the world, but he's not actually genociding people. And a Sentinel is specifically made to target X-Men, to target mutants. So that's the difference. Like Doom, Doom's genocide is all inclusive. Meanwhile, the Sentinels is discriminatory against mutants.
Also, Tony Stark has those too. He created Sentinels too. Like any super scientist has their own set of Sentinels that they just keep in the closet just in case.
Well, technically speaking, Iron Man could be Iron Man suits that he's not using can be seen as Sentinels.
Omega Sentinels too.
I find it weird just because of the name Sentinel and the fact that I don't know. Orcus had not attacked mutants yet. They hadn't.
Okay, you know what? This is great because this gets into the law. So that's an incoherent crime, basically. This is conspiracy because you can get arrested for conspiracy. You can get arrested for not doing something, but you put so many steps in, is that it was clear that you were going to do so. So specifically, what Orcus was doing was incoherent. They hadn't done it yet, but they were doing enough steps to where if we let you continue to do it, you would have done it.
It could have been said about the weekend before the Buffalo Killers struck. He could have been arrested for conspiracy, right?
Yeah, but they're not American.
Yeah, and NCO hate crimes are conspiracy, attempted murder, sorry, like attempted. And anytime someone says sorry, anytime someone says yeah, attempted, it means that you were like that you were trying to do so, but you failed.
Right.
Yeah,
Now,
but orcas are not Americans; they're pirates.
Yeah, I know, but I'm just using American law specifically. No, I'm just saying like specifically, I'm using American law, like American law is just a concept. Like I'm just saying like you can technically stop someone from doing something prior to them actually doing it. It's not a defense that say you can't arrest me for this. I haven't done it yet. Like no, you get enough steps to where we can arrest you.
I mean, if you're going to go under people who could go down under war crimes, you can put down the Trask, Sebastian Shaw.
Solicitation, sorry. The third one was solicitation.
Oh, right. Sebastian Shaw, he created he was creating Sentinels, the Trask. The US government built Sentinels under Project Wide Awake. I mean, all those are conspiracy to
oh my
take
God,
out mutants.
like the US government are fans of Katy Perry. But
Just that I distinctly recall it never even mentioned that they had proof that they were going to use the Sentinels to attack. It's just maybe it's an obvious.
Just because you say you're not going to use them doesn't mean it's not true.
What are you talking about?
That's like finding a clan hood in somebody's house. Saying, oh, I wasn't really going to wear. I can have it.
Well, they didn't. I know, like, well, they didn't explicitly say they were going after mutants.
If America wants to invade China, I kind of expect them to send in the CIA first, infiltrate the Chinese government, find proof that the China is going to invade America in 50 years. That is the proof.
No, the building of Sentinels is the proof. That's the proof. That's the thing.
That's the nuclear bombs. That don't mean
no,
shit.
That's not nuclear
Fucking
bombs.
Sebastian Shaw made Sentinels.
It's nuclear bombs for the purpose of nuking.
Doom literally has Sentinels. He literally has Sentinels.
Yeah,
there's no technology. There's zero technology in a Sentinel that
you are
Doom
missing the point. I don't know if you're purposely doing this. You are missing the point. Specifically, like if you're talking about America, China, specifically what you're doing is you're saying that essentially what you're saying is like America can't do anything until they actually get bombed, which is ridiculous. Like specifically,
get proof that you're going to get bombed.
That's the proof. The proof is specific. No. The proof is specifically they are building a robot that is literally targeting mutants. That is built to target mutants. That is the proof.
Building Sentinels.
So would you call them are they criminals after they commit the bomb? After they blow up the bomb?
No, if China has a plan to invade US in 50 years, send in the fucking agents, send in the spies, send in 007, find that shit out.
That's British, bro.
That's British.
Whatever.
That's English, bro. No,
the moment you got even the most rockiest proof, at least it's fucking something. And then you can go off that. Okay, then we're going in.
How much proof do you need? How much proof do you need? Do you need scintilla? Do you need preponderance of evidence? Do you need clear and convincing? And do you need beyond a reasonable doubt? What's the proof? Like what level?
Probably about 6 inches.
6 inches, so that would be clear and convincing. I'm serious.
I don't know half the words you just said.
Okay, all right. Let's get to the last part of the X-Men Red story.
Wrong slide.
With Landslide and Roberta.
Yeah.
Wrong Slide is actually I wasn't into it at first, but like it was pretty dope. I mean, like his reasoning for it, the fact that he said he wants to have his own life, and then when he dies, he wants to die in Otherworld. And so, like, when he gets brought back, it'd be another version of him that's completely different.
It's just bad that I want him to die already, though.
Damn. He was on.
It's like I want to see the next one. Like you're bored. Give me the next one.
No. This Rock Slide to me, he reminded me of Nightcrawler, but in Colossus's body.
Like Ron Slide reminds me, it gave me Tom King vibes during Heroes in Crisis when they had like that soliloquy that Narc was saying specifically. It might have been like issue 6. Yeah. Like it gave me that like we have this like, I can't call him stupid. He's not stupid, but like we have this alternative thinking kind of like being talking about these very out there concept, like these very abstract concepts, but he's making a connection with somebody. Like I was like, I did appreciate
Sunspot.
yeah, to Sunspot of all people.
Like, you know, like no, I don't like it anytime they say, "Oh, did you know them?" Like, we never saw them hang out.
I think Sunspot actually did train Rockslide at one point. Excuse me, at one point. I think specifically it was when Sunspot was wearing a very Cyclops-esque suit. I think that's when they interacted.
Oh, okay, all right, my mistake.
Like, so it's not. It is still out there, but I do think they have some kind of.
So you want this peaceful mutant to die, MJ? What's going on, bro?
Well, he wants him to die because he just sees him as like the chrysalis or something better. Like I kind of get it, but I'm like I like Wrongslide. I like the connection that we're getting there. It's such a weird. Yeah, go ahead.
We're starting to get something at the very end. His earlier monologues, I'm just like, it's kind of drag. I would like to see his opinion on some things. It's not him looking out at an ocean. I want to see his opinion on the Iraqis. I want to see his opinion on on Otherworld, like in like some fantastical city in Otherworld, like some crazy shit like that. Like, what's your opinion on that? Don't give me monologues on what it means to be Rockslide. We already know about Otherworld.
Actually, we're going to get his opinions because remember at the end of it, Roberto said, "Have you been to Morocco?"
Yeah.
So, like, I think that'd be really cool to see. I mean, just to see his see what he died for.
Yeah.
It'd be really interesting if he hates it.
I think Otherworld. I want him to go back to Otherworld.
Right.
MJ went to Otherworld. We lost him.
I'm gonna send you the I'm gonna send you the panel of him kind of hanging out with like Rockslide hanging out at Sunspot. It has happened before.
All right, cool.
Supposed to hear.
No, like it's good. Is it okay? Oh, okay, I see. Oh, yeah. That was Young X-Men.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. When Donald Pierce was posing as Cyclops.
Yeah. It appears MJ got preemptively struck by the X-Men.
No. We don't like that here. Yeah. Oh, this is when Wolf Cub died. Okay. All right.
Yeah, so they have an interaction. I just thought it was just so weird that Ewing's bringing that, like, oh, hey, you've seen that before. Yeah, let's bring this up.
It's like, it's like, oh, it's not fair. I don't like this whole concept where people think life is fair.
Yeah,
like,
it is disheartening.
Yeah, it's like, you keep saying this, but like, I don't know, it's weird.
Oh, by the way, I'm just looking at this pen like this. That's pen I sent you. Oh, by the way, I like how we are just never going to address Ink because Ink was never actually a mutant. Like, I guess Ink just can't be on here.
Right. I mean, technically, Ink could do everything the Five can do by himself. He just got to go to a really good tattoo artist.
Well, he could actually do like the Phoenix Force power, but the person, I forgot the guy that actually like tattooed him, but like it would put the person that tattooed him into a coma.
Well, I mean, you know,
yeah, I haven't seen
every job has its
yeah.
It's a job.
I haven't seen Ink since X-Men Gold under Mark Guggenheim.
Oh, what? Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of people to resurrect. You know, they got
Ink is a human though. Like he technically can't be like he would have to be resurrected as a matter of fact. That probably would be if anyone, that would probably be the best person specifically to say you are a human. We understand that, but we're going to bring you back as an X-Man or as a mutant because you have fought since day one to be with us.
Yeah, and then they were like, "What about Peter Corbeau? You know what? We haven't seen him since the '90s."
There was actually something I never brought up during our Knights of X conversations a couple weeks ago. Was the Siege of Perilous can remake your soul?
Right.
Can that not turn a human mutant?
No. We haven't seen an example of that. I mean,
it can destroy a soul and can reforge it. Reforge it? Can you not reforge it with an X gene? Like.
Well, I guess the question is, does a soul does a soul mean you're like, is there such thing as mutant souls, or is it just a soul?
As Merlin, he'll say yes.
Well, the idea was that it would make you more powerful. So if it can upgrade an X gene, I don't know why it could not add an X gene to a human. Granted, it seemed to be that there's 2 siege paralyses, one for humans, one for mutants.
It would
So
seem we have to. This is a question from Chris Claremont.
yeah,
He would, because Claremont knows everything.
I think it is celestial technology, and I think it can add an X gene because the Celestials added X genes to the original Neanderthals. That's how the X gene was spread across the planet. Was celestial technology added it to the original humans. So like
That is
if I'm
true.
correct and the siege perilous is celestial technology left over from Apocalypse, then you could add an X gene.
Well,
Boom, bada boom.
those damn Eternals, and now they want to kill us.
Yeah, I know.
Kill
I'm just gonna with you. I'm not looking forward to the Eternals event. I'm not gonna skip it. I'm just not looking forward to it.
Me neither. I'm just like,
I want
okay.
to see who has the better eyes, Icarus or Cyclops. It's been a long-standing
Who has
question.
better eyes? Technically speaking, it'd be Icarus because Cyclops' eye beams don't like his concussive blast. As a matter of fact, let me be his optic blast. Let me be very fair. His optic blast don't they don't produce heat.
And like, and Icarus can turn them off.
That's
And
well, so
celestial energy.
Cyclops can too. I am like that is like it has been established specifically that it is a mental block basically that stops him from controlling his eye blast.
And it's because of Emma that he knows that.
Yes,
And he's personally chosen not to get the flaw taken out via resurrection.
Hey, Karma hasn't like got her leg.
Well, Karma and Forge.
Yeah, they all have robot legs, but they can clearly get their full leg back, but they choose not to.
I wonder what it's oddly convenient. It is oddly. Actually, no. As a matter of fact, yeah, you're right because Cable got resurrected and he had the techno-organic virus back. So.
Oh, also, like, here's what I'm wondering about Forge. What does he have in that leg? Like,
that's where he stores all his fruit snacks.
Oh, where he stores his storm memorabilia.
Yeah, it needs to be Forge and Sage. I'm just saying. Forge and Sage 2023.
Hey, no, Sage and Bishop 2024.
I would think Forge should be replacing that leg soon with a Krakoan technology leg.
Oh, like what he did with Domino? They really need to have like a full team because, like, who is on that team?
I don't think it's smart. I don't think it's smart to have everyone have the same technology because if it gets hacked, then like you're all screwed.
But also, Forge needs to put up some sort of like firewall or a defense system. Like,
I don't think you need it. I don't think you need it because you have Krakoa. So unless you go up against another granted, you're right. Like Krakoa up against a Rocco, maybe a Rocco is bigger and more powerful and can overload Krakoa. Maybe he can win, but you would have to go up against another intellect and intelligence like that.
But it's those Golden Girls, remember, because they literally were able to hack the plants.
Yeah,
but
then
culture, I think what they're called.
Core culture. We haven't seen them in a minute either.
Right, but the gates are a weird thing. They're kind of like tumors. Krakoa doesn't really have control over the gates.
Yeah, but I'm saying they can control those plants. There's nothing stopping them from controlling the other stuff that is plant-based.
They say that, but like Beast, he attacked them. So good for Beast.
I feel like you can use Krakoa as a firewall somehow.
Hey,
because there's been like every plant creature to talk with Krakoa has called him like a god.
There are some stuff that you can do, like maybe like similar to like when we were talking about in Discord about I forgot what island it was, that island with like the butterflies. Maybe actually like they're not a butterfly obviously, but like maybe like Krakoa spits out a pollen that doesn't affect X genes, but if you don't have one, then you can get poisoned.
Oh wow, that's some game. I think there was an island like that in Game of Thrones.
I just said that.
Oh wait. I have a lawnmower going on in the background. I'm hearing. I have shaky ear.
They could do that.
I'm glad this is on record.
That would be.
What about Kyle? Kyle would have to be immune.
Kyle gets the antidote every day.
It's the antidote. Where's the antidote? Like it's like insulin or something. Oh,
Right,
take
it's like
your
insulin.
shot.
Take it with your medicine or you're gonna die. You can't come back.
Oh god. Like I like how even the villains like Kyle.
Well, they can bring him back. They brought back Scarlet Witch, so you can resurrect humans.
Okay, all right.
Scarlet Witch brought herself back.
Scarlet Wanda is Magneto, but she's a mutant. She just changed her DNA. Remember, she's a reality warper. Chaos magic, all that stuff. Remember, all that's like, remember Axis, she said, okay, we're not your kids anymore. Like, she can make, and that's when High Evolutionary said, oh, yeah, you're not a mutant. All this, like,
Speaking of which, what was I gonna say?
she changed her own history.
Speaking of which, I haven't seen Quicksilver in a while too, and then we need to bring him back.
Oh no, we saw him in Trial of Magneto.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Like that's the last time we like that was months ago.
That was months ago. I wish
Yeah,
it
but
was
his sister came back to life, so he left.
And
Yeah,
it
Scarlet
still
Witch-
blamed Magneto. You killed her. Whoa, I didn't kill nobody.
It's a fair assumption.
No,
He's
I mean,
fucking-
okay.
he's guilty as fuck the entire trip.
No, he
just to
wanted.
fuck with us, the
He
reader.
tried to bring her back.
No, but I think it was just to fuck with us, the reader, to make us think Magneto was guilty.
That's
but-
Leah Williams though. It's like all right. She wrote Magneto like he was supposed to be brought in for questioning. He's like, no, I can't be questioned. Like, are you serious right now? Like, wouldn't you be the first person to say, hey, I didn't do nothing? I don't know. Like,
It's like bringing in the president, you know?
or a co-president. Also, I don't understand how Moira keeps on saying that nobody listened to her. She wasn't around for like 2 years. Like,
Yeah, Moira just talking shit. They
Moira-
did everything. They did
Moira-
literally everything. They
Yeah,
tried
they did everything except the whole no clairvoyance because that was an insane law to try and make it.
They even broke their own laws. Make more mutants. I think deleting a mutant from the database is breaking that law of make
That is
more
hard
mutants.
doing. So as a matter of fact, they told Mystique specifically that you could have killed humans. Like we don't care. Like it's on site. It's like
Right? It's like on site. I'm like,
It's
Mystique,
like that, I think we got it. Mystique
right?
is on site.
Mystique, kill humans on site. It's on site. Oh god, I wanted to just come out organically.
Just, make Mystique PvP enabled.
BBC enabled, right?
Like,
You had avid
any
privileges.
human can get it. Like seriously, I'm still confused why Mystique didn't try to kill everybody on Orcus when like she posed as that when she got on she couldn't just kill that lady because she would have done it like
I know she could have just killed her
OJ'd
like the same way she died, like open the airlock.
oh my that would have been awesome. But then Mystique would have saw her her dead body like
I'm trying to think. Well, I mean, obviously the answer is yes. But technically speaking, opening the airlock that doesn't actually mean you kill them. Like they just died to their own devices. That's just leaving them for dead. That's actually not killing them directly.
Yeah, they get sucked out and then they freeze and land.
I know, but it's not that different than like throwing someone overboard. Like they're gonna die eventually, but you didn't directly kill them.
It's like a saw. It's like a saw trap. Oh god. Okay, guys, but this was a great discussion.
Yes.
Mystique, it's on site.
On-site enabled, like
On site, yeah, right? Kill mode engaged.
kill mode engaged, right?
Oh, Mystique crazy. That'd be crazy. So on 1407, Sterling Silver, Master Jarl, Corey couldn't be here today.
Nope.
Next week we have nothing. We have Sabretooth and Legion of X. In Legion of X, I will not read on just on principle, because Cy Spurrier doesn't know what the hell he's talking about.
Yep. So we're just gonna have a little break. And then, like,
So
we'll come
it's
back when like the
perfect.
books come out.
No, it's
That
not
means
perfect.
No, it's perfect for me. So then when I get evidence for Storm being a goddess, I have no one to contradict me. I can say
She's
whatever.
not a
And
god.
you didn't even acknowledge when literally Exodus became a god.
I still think that was Legion.
That
That
was
hair
not
was sticking
Legion.
up like Legion. Legion hair
His
does the whole
skin was different.
Legion. His hair does the whole thing.
Legion has like a pomade, not a pomade. He has like
He had the kid in play. He had the kid in play.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is actually really remarkable considering that he's white. Like
Well,
with the hair that
specifically, I believe, isn't he Israeli?
but the same thing.
Exodus, we have never seen his hair stick up like that.
That's
Never.
because we've also never seen him in space, now have we?
And also, you also got to remember,
only thing-
you also got to remember, Exodus is constantly, his hair is constantly in like blowing mode. Like he goes through conditioner like crazy.
And we've also
You
never
guys
seen Exodus in the vacuum of space, but here he is.
You got
It's
two
slow
things.
motion too.
You got Sinister bickering with him a little bit, which is a little reminiscent of him bickering with him in the Quiet Council, and you got some shoulder pads.
And you forgot
and the way, and his speech pattern as well.
Yeah, Legion, a million years in the future, might speak a little funny.
You know, I'm putting this in the description. MJ and his constant quest to say that Legion is a god.
Yeah.
Legion is not a god.
Well,
Like, if he's a god, Magneto is a god.
if Storm becomes a god, it's going to be in.
She
in,
prays. She says,
X-Men
"By the
Red
bright lady."
or
she says
Legion of Red.
what she says God is specifically.
Well, yeah, but like she say, "By the bright lady." Oh, goddess. That means she prays to something else.
Now, to be
Zeus
gods
is
can
god
pray
of
other
the
gods
gods.
because Thor says because he prays to Odin. He is calling for his father, but that still counts.
So he's like, "Daddy, where are you?"
Yeah, pretty much.
Daddy, where are
Zeus is the god of gods, though. He's the god of gods. Other gods worship Zeus. He's the god of gods.
Yeah,
Greek
but,
god.
but a lot of
Worship
but
gods.
a lot of people in his pantheon are related to him.
Yeah, and
I'm saying that one of the original pantheons had a god that was worshipped by other gods. One of the OG pantheons, gods could worship gods.
The same thing happened. The same thing happened in like the Norse pantheon. The same thing happened in the Egyptian pantheon. Like that's not exclusive.
Yeah,
How do we-
Odin is the All Father. They don't necessarily worship him.
As a matter of fact, Jesus worships God.
I mean, if we really want to think about it, like, how do we know that like Zeus or Odin wasn't just different gods in different countries? Like, you know, it's like wearing a coat.
But what we don't know, like the biggest thing, like the biggest way we could have found out that out is like being Northbound is because it's lost, because they couldn't, because they only have like 2 records of like their own history, and it's just gone.
Okay.
Zeus likes to bang his sisters, so
He likes to bang anything. That's
What
his
is Donald
sister,
Trump?
his
Then we don't call him
daughters-
a god.
you know, his daughters too. So like, we don't really have Odin trying to bang his daughters. So I don't think Odin had daughters, but
Either
if he
this
had daughters,
craster. Okay.
if he had daughters, I don't.
I have to check. It's been a while.
Okay.
He had some. He didn't try sleeping with them.
No, but he did cross dress. It's canon.
Oh God. Oh, too much information. I feel like I know too much. No. But we get a week off next week.
Yes, we do.
Just
Much needed.
enjoy the hot dogs of the fake Independence Day, except for MJ, you're in Canada, so you got Bastille Day.
Don't you guys mean Terrace Day?
Well, true. That is
Some
true.
people. Yeah, some people. That's that can see as that.
So this day will be, you can just run amok. It's like Purge. It's like the Purge.
I mean, we're not that far off from the actual purge. Like, honestly, it's like at this point, like the Supreme Court is going to be like, well, we don't see in the Constitution that said explicitly that you can't have a purge. Like,
That's like, why does everybody go to killing people? Why can't it like, hey, how about we just rob a bank?
Yeah, we're gonna have Clarence Thomas write like a 15-page concurring opinion, basically saying like, well, technically speaking, the Fifth Amendment says that like based on liberty, you can do what you want, and technically speaking, a purge would allow you to do that. So it's within the Constitution. So the purge is
Yeah.
legal. Like,
If companies are people and I have a right to punch a person, then therefore I have a right to punch a company, right?
Hey,
I mean, you can
I'm
do
punching
if you can find if you can do so. Like, please do so.
AT&T. You can get this fade.
By punch, I mean rob the shit out of the company. But
Oh, I meant like literal, like punching like the
Yeah.
head of AT&T if they're a company, like T-Mobile, bitch.
T-Mobile, like throw a Nokia brick.
Right.
No, like,
punch the McDonald's drive-through.
Like, get that ice cream machine working. oh, y'all.
all right, we here at the podcast do not condone
Violence
attacking
against-
corporations.
We do not condone violence.
That gets claimed before we actually get like when a SWAT team or somebody like kicks in my door. Like,
Like I get SWAT team busting in like second time this week. I told you guys.
I told you to get out of my house.
Hey, it'd be bad when I started knowing him by name. Oh, hey, Bill. Hey.
Bill's a part of the SWAT team.
Hey, man, we all need extra money. They were hiring. God, this gets funnier and funnier.
I heard the Supreme Court lifted so California banned bounty hunters. The Supreme Court's like, I know you guys want to be liberal and democratic over in California. No. States' rights only matters when we say it matters.
Oh God.
Fucking, and they revoked it, so they can have bounty hunters in California now.
Oh jeez. Okay. 1407 Sterling Silver, Master Jarl. We won't be here next week, but
I'll make sure I tell everyone how Storm was a goddess
no,
in 2
she's
weeks.
not a god, okay? She's not a god. Okay? You take away her power, she's not a god.
They called her a queen in this issue.
Something.
Iska jokingly calls her queen of Morocco.
They
But
call
fucking
Becky
called her
Bragg a
queen, though.
queen too. Doesn't mean it's true.
It's a Charles the King, so he's been a god longer than Storm has.
According to the Marvel thing, you go queen and then you go goddess. So as long as she's now queen, she can become goddess again. So she
So
was
Charles
a
has been a
queen.
god before she has, because he's been
What
a king
about
longer
Namor?
than Storm has.
True,
Do you consider Namor a god?
And that's a good point too.
No, but you start as a king
Wow.
and then you become a god.
Okay.
But you could go human, king, god. Human, king, god. She now is queen.
Storm's not human.
She's a mutant.
She's now going to go from queen to god. Queen to god. Queen to god. You get it? Get it?
Straight and lick.
I feel like that scene in Billy Madison where the principal is saying, nothing you said is even remotely
I award you no
close
points.
to an answer.
May God have mercy on your soul.
Before Black
No, but
Panther
if it-
became a god, he was a king.
Namor is a
Right?
mutant. You take away his powers, he is dead.
Maybe.
Hey, that is just a theory. Take away
Mm.
Storm's powers, she's just she's a dirty fighting street rat. She's basically Aladdin. But
Dang.
She's one of the
Aladdin with
best
no
martial
genie.
skills.
I said what?
She's probably top 2 martial skills of the mega levels.
You keep saying top 2 and like
who was number one?
I
No,
know.
we had this conversation about martial skills the other day, and you guys didn't really give a good argument of who on the mega levels has greater martial skill than.
Oh, Marshall.
No. We said Hope Summers is more skilled than her.
I didn't. And I
I
Storm
don't
has
like
lived
Hope
in-
either. I don't like Hope either. I hate Hope. I think Hope is like is a.
That's
cheap
why I said
trick.
top 2, because you did give me one person that might be better, but I don't
Magneto?
think Hope. Hope is like
Mystique?
17 years old.
She's
Storm has lived
21 now.
Storm has lived in apocalyptic scenarios and different timelines and
But
blah, blah,
not her whole life though. Like Hope grew up in that.
was set for like 17 years. Of that, you only cognitive for what?
You're cognitive to the apocalypse, so you're going to be
14?
more prepared for it.
I don't
Yeah,
remember the
start
apocalypse when I
remembering-
was a baby.
You don't start remembering until you're like 4. So
Yeah,
you're
but
not
she lived,
cognitive
but she
till you're,
lived,
like, 4.
but she lived. So that means 13 of those formative years, which is very important, is apocalypse to her.
Yeah, and how much has Storm lived in apocalyptic worlds?
No,
I'm sure it's a lot.
No, that was an alternate timeline of her. That was an alternate version of her. That's not the same.
I'm sure 616 has spent time in apocalyptic timelines.
They technically have, but it's always been like a different. It turned out to be a different timeline. The most recent
Except for
one I can
Bishop.
think of, yeah,
I'm
the
sure
most
this
recent
one
one I
has
can-
some memories.
like
I'm
the
sure
quickest
some-
one I can think of is like Age of Ultron.
Or Age of
Yeah, that
Apocalypse.
one, yeah, that one she might have lost those memories, but I'm sure there's a few where she's maintained the memories of.
As a matter of fact, there was one like there was it was Age of Ultron. No, it was the one. No, it was the one that Legion made up in his mind.
Age of X-Men.
Yeah, Age of what?
Age of X-Men.
No, Legion Legion individually.
Oh,
I
Legion,
forgot.
not X-Men. Oh, Age of X.
Age of X, yeah, that was it. I remember that one.
Right.
It was all
Legion,
independent.
X-Men, the same thing.
Yeah, because Legion and X-Men actually like fused, like in Age of Apocalypse and like Age of X-Men. I remember that. But Storm was actually being used as a horseman of Apocalypse for him.
Yeah.
So she was on the
Also,
opposite.
House of M as well.
Yeah, House of M. Was that Apocalypse? Or was that just a different timeline?
Uh,
I don't think
well,
it was apocalyptic.
it was the entire world was changed. Something we can get into next time. This is the AKPC.
Yes.
If you don't know what it means, you don't know. We'll see you soon.
There you all.
Oh, God.